What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Never Ending Drum Kit. I'm going to be showing you how to make this metallic Dariacore snare in this one, and it's kind of a layer job, so without any processing and all the layers together, it sounds like this, right? That's no processing. And so we got our 4 layers here. We have kind of a trap snare body layer, then a clap layer, given that high end, then 1 and 2 metallic layers, and that's all with no processing. So let's go ahead and go through here and see what I did to these. The first thing that I have here is this trap snare. I took that snare there and pitched it up a little bit, right, using the time stretching knob there, the multiplier knob. Send it into my effects, and I just have an EQ with a pretty significant boost to the highs and that little body piece. Then cutting some of the clappier mids that I'm gonna bring in with this layer here. So this one, let's go ahead and add it next. As you can see, it's kind of adding those frequencies that were cut out from that one EQ. So then I have that kind of shitty clap, boosted it and clipped it, and then just cut the tail, right? Making it nice and tight. Cut a little bit of the volume down too, because I didn't want with the boost it to be too loud. Then ran it through an EQ, but I actually didn't adjust anything in this, so we'll just keep that off. On to our metal layer 1. So this one sounds like this. In context, you know, just kind of, it's being this first layer that right after the clap happens. It's just giving a little bit of metal tonality to it. So for this layer, I used this piece of Foley. And it sounds like, yeah, I did some ring modulation to this. And then time stretched it, but not that much, right? And then clipped it, which is probably not necessary. And then put some stereo delay on it. Then I just cut some of the length off, right? Just having it ring out a little bit. Oops, ring out a little bit less. So as far as my effects, I put a bit crusher on it. Just crisping it up, and then an OTT. Bringing some gain into it. Then lastly, we have this layer. Another metallic layer, which in context sounds like that. And this one is, again, oh, that sounds like me hitting a coffee can or some really small metal thing. Maybe even a pan. I think it's a coffee can though, based off the original sound. And what did I do to this? Again, ring modulation. Change this frequency here. Don't forget to do that. Just kind of to get it to the whatever complements the pitch that you have. That sounds good either way, but so then I went in and I guess cut the tiniest amount of length and then just pitched it down. And ended up with that. Let's go into our effects here. And I have a snap heap. Okay, and this is doing a little bit of work. So we'll go through each of these buses. We have a parallel bus. So these 2 buses run in parallel, which means the signal gets split into 2 signals of equal proportion, equal power. Except for down here, I cut the gain on this one. So it goes through this chorus here. And then that's one of the buses. Then the second bus is it going through this pitch shifter and phase distortion. And then the gain is cut on this bus. Then those 2 buses sum, so they come together, right? They split apart. They get effects on them separately, right? It's not going through the chorus, then the pitch shifter. It's going through the chorus and it's going through the pitch shifter separately. They sum into this reverb. Just giving it a nice little room, right? No room. Nice little room. And then we have this dynamics unit, which is just acting as a gate, which just helps you have a tighter drum. So then with all those effects on each of the single layers, they get sent into this bus, so they're processed together. So first we have this fruity convolver, which is just adding that as a reverb layer. Right, this is the trick that I've showed a couple times now, which is where you use a separate drum as a convolution source, and it just gives it some width. Put an OTT on it. A lot of time, not a lot of depth. just helping push the drum together, kind of glue it with those settings. This does nothing, and then we have a V-clip. And that is how we ended up with this drum. And that's going to do it for this one, y'all. If you want to get this drum or any of the other drums in the kit, they're going to be in the description down below. And before you go, I am thinking about doing a Dariacore drum kit / sample pack. That's been something that I think there's interest in. So please let me know in the comments if you would want something like that. So I can know if it's going to be worth me spending my time on. And yeah, thank you for watching. I will see y'all in the next one.